concerned about the fact that one has actually been off and on, the breakfast show, but that's because of the recent, shake up here and there. But best believe that things are definitely, getting better by the day, right? So on the breakfast show, the Eagles Morning Rise, we have a lot packed for your listening pleasures always. And like I'd always say, the Eagles Morning Rise breakfast show is your early morning booster, just the right dose that you need to kickstart your day. But anywho, I trust that you all slept and woke up well this morning. If you're still in bed, you better get up, and get busy. Be up and about, because time waits for no one. And don't forget the popular song by Mike Ockery, Time Now Money, time now money. If you use your time well, stop gossip, stop money now they fall from heaven. Do better thing, your money go come. Now true what I they tell you, sir. I know some of you are probably like, oh, this girl, she can sing. And some of them will be like, oh, come on, your voice is so horrible. But, it's okay. It's okay. But I can tell you for a fact that I can actually do better. Well, one is actually a bit, under the weather somewhat, because the weather has actually been doing the most in recent times. And this is the point where I get to tell you to always wear your face mask, especially when you're out and about, because it's most of the times, the weather is dusty. And we know, of course, that the Harmattan has been, running up on us, running off and on, honestly, because during the day, it's usually very hot. And then early in the mornings, very, very cold. And you can't even imagine the fact that you have to step out of the house very early in the morning and you're not, properly kitted. Honestly, you're not well layered. Outside the country, people actually wear different layers of clothes because of how cold the weather is at the moment. But in Nigeria, it looks like we are a very, very strong set of people. The cold has got nothing on us, but that's a lie. Honestly, it's actually got something on us. So please don't take your health for granted. All right, now that there are even concerns of emergence of another virus, of course, all the way from China. And I think the federal government has been all out trying to be very, very proactive in that regard. I think it's only okay for you now to be very, very careful. They say the prudent actually see danger and they take cover. So please take cover now before it becomes, a very, very serious, situation for us to deal with in Nigeria. And now the implication would be that you have to learn to wear your face mask, because the moment we got, through with the COVID-19 era and what have you, a number of people just, they had to let their guards down. They stopped wearing face masks. But in the real sense, face mask, wearing a face mask should be part of us, all right? It's actually something that we need to incorporate into what we wear on a daily basis when stepping out of our homes. Wearing face mask won't stop you from breathing. Sometimes it gets very dusty out there. Why not wear your face mask? And then you are in a crowded space, someone is actually coughing, and you're going to expose your nostrils and everything to all of that. Come on, please learn to wear face mask and just come to terms with the fact that face mask, has actually come to stay. So please, it's very important. Wash your hands regularly as well with soap and running water. Right here in the studios, we have, a hand sanitizer. And this is even before, the fears or concerns around this new, virus actually came to the fore. That's to tell you how safety conscious we are right here. We're not going to preach what we are not practicing. I'm actually showing the hand sanitizer now. So if you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube, you definitely, will testify to what I'm saying. So it's very important. The moment I step into the studios, the moment I get into the premises, I wash my hands first, and I always sanitize my hands. It's very important. Same thing should apply to you. When you get to your workplace, wash your hands, sanitize your hands. It's very, very important, because you can't imagine, just even swapping currency, the note, you don't even know how many people actually held that note that you have in your possession. And some people, they are fond of picking their nose. People are fond of coughing and they don't even wash their hands. And then you touch these currencies or these notes, some of you might be very, careless to even want to eat almost immediately. It's very, very important. They say health is actually wealth, and cleanliness is next to godliness. For those of you that are very, very religious but not really too God-fearing, please try to be very, very clean, because cleanliness is next to godliness. You can't be godly without being clean. It's very, very important. Let's take these things to heart so we can be very, very proactive. It really would not make sense if this virus should run upon us and then it results or ends up in a lockdown. In this economy, I'm sure you all don't want that. All right, just to give you a heads up on what to expect from us on the Eagles Morning Rise Breakfast Show. This hour, we're going to be taking a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers, and you also get to call in to share your 2 cents. But that's not to say that I won't intimate you on 10 things that you need to know for today. I definitely would do that. And of course, at the 8 o'clock hour, you can trust Vicky Vic, the sports minister, on radio to do justice absolutely, to that one. And I tell you, it does not end there. The 9 o'clock hour, would be the final hour on the Eagles Morning Rise Breakfast Show. And that is actually the Eagles Outlook segment where we discuss, politics and current affairs. And the truth is, there is something that is quite very topical at the moment, a very critical subject matter that we should look into very critically, talking about 9 billion naira the federal government had actually earmarked or even spent on e-border project. And according to reports, that e-border project has actually failed in the sense that we still have an influx of bandits and illegal aliens in our dear country, Nigeria. Well, we're going to be looking at this and the implications, as it were, of Nigeria's porous borders on the fight against insecurity in Nigeria. We also understand that the federal government has rejected foreign mercenaries, and according to the federal government, bringing on board foreign mercenaries to tackle security challenges will not provide adequate or the federal government is saying that it will not do that because it is not ready to provide adequate panacea to the problems. All right, so the issues really, they're hydra-headed, especially when it has to do with security or the fight against insecurity in Nigeria. We're going to be looking at this very, very extensively with a security consultant and strategist at the 9 o'clock hour this morning. I encourage you to join us at that time as well, so you can share your 2 cents and also profile solutions or perhaps suggest ways in which Nigerian borders can be better secured to prevent the influx of bandits, ammunition and illegal aliens, as it were. Well, after that, I'll still be in the studios because of the little shake-up, in recent times. So, of course, the Media Extra starts at 10 a.m. and we're going to be starting off with the general open banter. And immediately after that, it'll be time for Abuja Now. That would also run up until 12 p.m. where I would check out of the studios and also hand you over to very safe hands, talking about Udwa Daniel and Cassandra. All of these and more will be accompanied with the very best of music because, come on, it's Friday, it's weekend. So whilst we're serious, it's also okay for us to douse the tension a little bit with the very best of music. Have I introduced myself? My name is Omoife Peace Osemere, and from all indication, I will be riding solo on the show this morning. This is also to encourage you at this juncture to hurry now to Facebook, to YouTube, where we are currently streaming, all right, at Eagles FM Abuja. You might want to just take, a peep or look at our state-of-the-art studios, and also, of course, the voice behind the MIC, there is a face to it. So hurry now to Facebook and YouTube at Eagles FM Abuja, and of course, do where to like and also follow us on Facebook, all right, on YouTube. Kindly subscribe to the channel. It's very important. That way you get notified whenever we're streaming programs live or whenever we upload any video. This content are very mind-blowing content that we create with love just for your consumption. It's also very important for you to share these videos, and the truth is we really will not take that commitment from you for granted. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly intimate you or bring you up to speed on 10 things that you need to know for today. President Bola Tinubu on Thursday urged the Chinese government to increase the $2 billion currency swap between Nigeria and China to enhance trade between the two countries. Now, he also called for an upward review of the $50 billion aid package for Africa, which China's President Xi Jinping announced last year. Moving away from that, Governor Bala Abdulkadir Mohammed of Bauchi State has called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to listen to the plight of Nigerians, saying, and I quote, Your policies are not working and people are suffering. End of quote. Speaking when he received a delegation of Islamic scholars led by Sheikh Sani Yahaya Jingir, Governor Mohammed advised the president to listen to Nigerians and correct his past mistakes. All right, moving on. President Tinubu on Thursday urged the military to proactively take the war to the camps of bandits and terrorists. Now, the president made the call following the loss of 6 soldiers during a dawn terrorist attack on January 4, 2025 on an army base in Sabon Gida, Damboa, Borno State. The People's Republic of China has promised to provide 1 billion yuan in military grants to Africa to enable the continent to tackle its security challenges. This was disclosed by the Chinese Minister of Foreign Affairs, Wang Yi, during a joint press conference with his Nigerian counterpart, Ambassador Yusuf Tugar, at the presidential villa Abuja on Thursday. And now the Martins Ameohule-led Rivers State House of Assembly has enacted 3 laws in the state, bypassing the assent of the state governor, Siminalayi Fubara. The lawmakers said their actions were in line with Section 100, subsection 5 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, and in furtherance of legislative positivism in the interests of the Rivers people. Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Thursday signed the state's 3.366 trillion naira 2025 appropriation bill into law. The bill christens the budget of sustainability was presented to the Lagos State House of Assembly on November 21, 2024, and represents a 32.5% increase over last year's 2.3 trillion naira budget. The Nigerian Air Force, NAF, conducted over 8,665 missions and 9,928 sorties within 15,915 flying hours using all aircraft types between June 2023 and December 2024. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has said. Now, Abubakar announced this while hosting the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Defense, Ambassador Gabriel Aduda, yesterday in Abuja. Now, 2 policemen were on Thursday killed during a failed attempt to invade the Ngazai Police Division in Ngazai local government area of Borno State by gunmen suspected to be members of the Boko Haram terrorists. This came as suspected Boko Haram terrorists invaded parts of Goza local government area of the state and slaughtered an unspecified number of firewood scavengers. Seriously, a lot is going on at the moment. Now, a federal high court sitting in Abuja sentenced one Chima Nkwocha, also known as Young Billionaire, to 2 years imprisonment for defrauding a United States citizen of $345,000. It was learned from a statement by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Wednesday that a convict was arrested in August 2024. And the last thing I'd like you to know this morning will be the fact that 3 persons have been killed as suspected cultists attacked the Igbogene community in the Yenagoa local government area of Bayelsa State. The attack on Wednesday night at about 8 p.m. is the first in nearly a year after the state government overhauled its security apparatus with the establishment of the Community Security Corps, among others. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it on 10 things that you need to know this Friday morning. That being said, let's quickly take a look at the front page of Nigerian newspapers this morning to see what these national dailies are reporting. All right, I've got the Punch newspaper, I've got the Guardian newspaper, I've got the Daily Trust newspaper, I've got the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, and hopefully we'll take a look at the Nation newspaper this morning. So listen very attentively, and very quickly I'd like to hand down the numbers to call to be part of the pages this morning. The numbers to call are 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. You can also send a message or a voice note to the WhatsApp portal on 090-9705-4450. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's quickly start off with the Punch newspaper. Now, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, the big news story there says Nigeria China planned collaboration on military training and arms production. Now, a writer underneath that story says China announces 1 billion yuan grant for Nigeria, others to train over 7,000 military personnel. You get details of that story on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And just above that one, right in front of the Punch newspaper logo, power stagnates at 4,500 megawatts despite $3.23 billion loans. Details on page 19. General Hydrocarbons accounts frozen amid $225 million debt dispute with First Bank. You find that one on page 12. And moving on to page 11, Afenifere Igboho offers support as police squad combats Southwest bandits. And then this one on page 11 says Biden, Trump, others pay tribute as U.S. buries Qatar. All right, there are also photographs on the front page just to back up that story. And then moving back to page 12, Senate grills finance minister over subsidy savings. Senate grills finance minister over subsidy savings. Details on page 12. Moving on to page 6, Sanwo-Olu signs 3.36 trillion naira 2025 budget, opens 5 roads. And then on page 5, man jailed 2 years for defrauding American of 345,000 US dollars. I'll leave it there this morning for the Punch newspaper. Grab a copy to get details. Now, the Guardian newspaper leads with pediatric nutrition as the kicker. Health concerns over affordability, safety, and quality of infant meals. That's actually the big story, and you get details on pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And then just above that one, insecurity, that is the kicker. Afenifere alerts Southwest governors as experts tackle federal government on terrorism funding. You find that one on page 6. Moving on to page 7, Northern groups seek reopening of land borders. Northern groups seek reopening of land borders. All right, so it appears the land borders have been closed all the while, but how is it that there's been an influx of bandits and illegal aliens, just as, you know, it has been tagged? But again, you get details of our story on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And then Lagos lowers a FAC expectations, target 2.3 trillion naira internally generated revenue. You find that one on page 26. Moving back to page 8 or page 6, Senate erupts as Edun seeks executive session on fuel subsidy proceeds. All right, and then on page 3, budget falls 2025. That's a budge IT, right? Falls 2025 budget demands a breakdown of TED fund and NJC allocations. On page 28, boundary, that is the kicker, federal government sues for peace as Abia, Cross River renew hostilities. Moving to page 19, NBS to unveil rebased GDP this month. Takes 2019 as a base year. That's actually a business news story on page 19. And then this one on page 29 says a court summons minister AGF over expatriate levy implementation. I'll leave it there real quick for the Guardian newspaper this morning. Grab a copy to get details. I'll just take a quick break to go pay this bill, and we'll be back in a moment to take a look at more headlines making the rounds this morning. Do join us again.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
I'm Tammy Annie Williams, a master's student. Thanks to the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship, I earned my master's. My future is limitless.
My name is Mustafa Akolu, a welder. The EU-sponsored rural electrification has powered my tools and my dreams. Now, our whole community strive.
I am Hafsat Denge, founder of the Easy Comply solution. With EU funding, I help women simplify corporate compliance, empowering them to grow their businesses.
I am Juliet Debo, an extension agent in Benue State. Through the EU INAP program, I have trained over 180 farmers, transforming our community agriculture.
I am Dr. Olajide Joseph, an EU project coordinator in Nigeria, making healthcare more accessible through public health support and local vaccine production.
My name is Damilola Obidaro. Partnering with the EU, I've helped small business owners build capacity in digital technology.
The European Union's Global Gateway invests in
digital economy,
education, agriculture,
renewable energy, and health.
And the EU is here to make it happen.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
And yes, we're back. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're still looking at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers this morning. All right, now let's take a quick look at the Daily Trust newspaper. The big news story on the front page says many killed as gunmen attack Katsina villages. Right underneath it says 2 policemen die in Boko Haram strike. All right, details on the front page. It continues right on page 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Edun Bagudu grilled as Senate opens 2025 budget defense. Details on page 6. Moving on to page 26. Address bandits influx. Afenefere urges Southwest governors. On page 20, northern groups demand VAT reduction to 3%. All right, and then moving on to page 4, Nigeria seeks increased currency swap deal with China. Expatriates tax regime court summons Fagbemi and Tunji Ojo. Details on page 4. Moving on to page 26, attacks, that's the kicker, 1,000 Benue households displaced in 1 week. This is coming from the state governor, Alia. He says 1,000 Benue households displaced in 1 week. Now, how much of a concern is that to you as a Nigerian? Details on page 26 this morning, and then moving back to page 4. Insecurity, that is the kicker. Federal government rules out foreign mercenaries. All right, I'll leave it there this morning for the Daily Trust newspaper. Do it to grab a copy to get details of the reviewed headlines. Right. The Nigerian Tribune newspaper leads with tax reform bills as the kicker. Northern stakeholders demand VAT reduction to 3%. Call for relocation of corporate headquarters of banks, telecom companies to Abuja. Details on page 4. Still on page 4, fuel subsidy proceeds. Finance Minister demands closed door meeting with lawmakers. Moving on to page 6, over 120 million workers globally at risk of redundancy. This is coming from the World Economic Forum. Over 120 million workers globally at risk of redundancy. You might want to take a look at that story to get, the reason behind this very strong statement. You find it on page 6. Moving on to page 12, a human rights community names Oyebanji 2024 Governor of the Year. Human rights community names Oyebanji 2024 Governor of the Year. Details on page 12. On page 5, how security operatives burst ISWAP's plan to establish camps in Oyo. Right underneath it says camp meant to coordinate activities in Oyo, Kwara, and Oshun. You find details of our story this morning on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. All right, and then this one on page 5 says stress risk factor for high blood pressures. Stress risk factor for high blood pressures and sudden death. This is coming from a cardiologist. Please take note of that. Stress risk factor for high blood pressures and sudden death. So try your best, to avoid stress. Any moment, any point, at any point in time you feel burned, you should just take a break and maybe relax and start again. It's very important. Okay. And now this one on page 12 says court remands a Lagos teacher, sets bill at 200,000 naira for assaulting 3-year-old pupil. Moving on to page 25, Southwest leads in proportion of wage earners with postgraduate education in 2023. This according to NBS report. On page 2, Oyo makes move to choose new Alafin. Right underneath it says Commissioner summons local government chairman and kingmakers. Details on page 2, and heading on to page 3, federal government rejects foreign mercenaries in tackling insecurity. 6 partnership with China for military equipment production. Details of our story this morning you'll find on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. I'll leave it there for the Nigerian Tribune, and let's quickly take a look at the Nation newspaper. On the front page, it says Edun Idris take first shot as 2025 budget defense opens. Right underneath that one says Environment Minister makes presentation before lawmakers. Details on the front page, and of course it continues on page 2. Nigeria seeks raise of $2 billion currency swap deal with China. Details on the front page. It continues on page 2 as well. And then this one here says federal government rules out mercenary to fight terrorists. President orders probe into killing of soldiers. You find details on the front page. It continues also on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. And then this one on page 4 says federal government threatens to terminate road contracts in southeast and south. You might want to take a look at that one as well to get reasons. Details on page 4. Moving on to page 5, Sanwo-Olu signs a 3.37 trillion naira budget, inaugurates Ikeja GRA roads. Still on page 5, Okpebolo, council chiefs unable to account for 83 billion naira allocation. CBN suspends export proceeds repatriation extension. You find that one on page 11. And then on page 5, council poll, court to rule on Oshun APC case next week. Court freezes General Hydrocarbons account over $225.8 million debt to First Bank. Details on page, it's actually on the front page, and it continues on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. And I tell you, that's just going to be about the size of the headlines I will be taking across the national dailies this morning because of time. So you can now call in to share your thoughts as to what you make of these headlines making the rounds across the national dailies this morning. Once again, the numbers to call are 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 090-9705-4450. Please do well to turn down the volume of your radio set so we can hear ourselves clearly. Keep your emotions in check and stay civil whilst making your contribution this morning. All right, let's hear from you. What are your thoughts? Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Okwi, man, calling for Kubwa.
Okwi, let's not start again. It's Friday already. Just do the needful, all right? And we'll definitely would hear from you subsequently. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Nicole.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Moses from Suleja.
Good to have you, Moses, and happy weekend to you.
Thank you. We asked of you 2 days ago. They said that you are not around, but you'll be available today.
Yes, please.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
That's our caller in the house, okay? It's simple. Just pass apology letter or apology text to the station. This is what is obtainable, and it has been advised not to call in first. Send the apology through WhatsApp. It's going to help this because you are embarrassing the station and the entire family. It's simple. Apologize through text. That is the then we wish to have you back. We are concerned about you. So please, okay, do what is needful. God will bless you if you do so.
Thank you very much.
I want to thank my brother Abdul from Suleja, and I want to appreciate God. So the issue of security,
right.
I think it's a big thing. The government says they will not allow any foreign interference. But the issue is, are they capable? If they are not capable, then they should seek for international support. if they are capable, they should do what is needful. Because life of human beings are not animals. There are people who are behind this issue. Let them fish them out. That is our cry. People who are behind this. Because these people, when you see them, how did they got this harm? Who are behind all these harms? Bring them out. Enough is enough. Losing a lot of life. Early this year, we begin to lose our security men in the hand of these people. It's so sad. It's so sad. So we are pleading with the government to do the way the president says, that advice. Thank you, Yudi. And the issue of fraudsters, I want to suggest that Nigerians, we are strong to find something to do. Because the issue of fraudsters has become out of the game. So I want to say, is there any strong law? Somebody duped at about $345 from a foreigner and just 2 years imprisonment. So our lawyer also come court. They should find something because the level our young men are going to this is much. So thank you, thank you, Ife.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Moses, for your contribution this morning. And to Okwi, dear Okwi, please just tender an apology letter, all right? And we'll be glad to have you back, honestly, because I'm human, so it's really not cool knowing that you make efforts to share your thoughts every morning, and we can't have you share your thoughts because of your antecedents. So just do the needful and be very remorseful this time, and best believe we'll be glad to receive you with warm hands. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is
Your name is?
My name is
All right, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I'm happy New Year.
I wish you the very same.
Thank you very much. Well, I want to comment on Nigeria and China trying to collaborate. I say Nigeria see the real benefit of what they are trying to do. Because China are countries that when you are dealing with them, you have to work and be careful. Well, on the issue of Ofe, I want to seriously tell him that if we are calling to hold government accountable, and then you did something wrong, they are asking you to apologize. You refuse to apologize. If they give you this country to you, what will be the difference between you and the people you are coming to complain? I got that message, but Nigeria will get it right very soon by the grace of God. Good morning, this is Stephen. Good morning, Nigeria.
Thank you very much for that contribution right there. Hello, good morning to you. Oh, there. Please do have to call back. Let's hear from you. Hello.
Omo Ife.
Brighto.
Samuel.
Good morning to you, Mr. Bright.
Happy New Year.
I wish you the same, and happy weekend to you.
The same to you.
All right.
Let me greet Salasi.
All right.
And be blessing.
Right.
May God bless the Eagle family.
Amen.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
You are talking about Yahoo boys, Abi.
Okay.
What of the leaders who are Yahoo people?
Oh, the leaders are not Yahoo people.
Is a minister not a leader? Is a governor not a leader? When a minister gave us a Yahoo airplane, where is the minister? Is the minister in jail? No. The humanitarian, are they in jail? The people who are giving money to build roads, are they in jail? No. The ones that are using our money to pay school fees in advance in hard currencies, are they in jail? No. And they're even paying their workers. Some are even paying their workers 7,000 naira in this hard economy. They are not in jail. And they are complaining of the ones that do 2,000, 3,000. They say when they head is rotten. What can you do? Except there is a holistic approach to this corruption in Nigeria. It has become endemic that if you are doing something in Nigeria, you don't look sideways, you will not survive. Most people. Let me ask you, let me be sincere to yourself as a human being. If you take out 70,000 naira a month, will you live on it? Be sincere. That's what the government says to its workers. And they want the workers to be sincere and no corrupt. You look at it, you know that it's not reasonable at all. And we are not collaborating with all these foreign allies to fight insurgency. And every day we are hobnobbing with France and Niger, our neighbors, and Mali, and all of them are shutting them out. They are causing problems in Nigeria, in their own region. They are allies for so many years, and Nigeria is going into them. I don't know them. They know their policy. Let them do. My own is let peace remain in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Thank you for your submission, Bright. Let peace reign in Nigeria. All right. 09087668888 or 09073530044 are the numbers that you can call this morning to be part of the pages this morning. Hello. Good morning to you.
Hello.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where you're
you sang very, very well as if you were a chorister in your days, Abi.
Of course.
Why?
Of course, I was a chorister. You know.
That's beautiful.
Thank you very much. I guess of course, Austin from Adona, Nasarawa State.
Yeah.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I want to speak on this security of a thing. The government is playing with security the way I see it. Because I think it's getting to 15 years now that they have been battling with this issue. And it has not been solved. Why are they for the mercenaries? If really mercenaries can do the job, then we forget about it once and for all. And every year security, every day killing. It's not telling on us good as our people. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Austin, for calling. And also, I see your message on the WhatsApp portal already, stressing that security issues should not be treated with levity. And according to him, government would require the service of mercenaries to get this problem solved and let the government go ahead. Okay, Emmanuel Austin, thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Hello, good morning to you. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Omoise.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, this is Felix from Lambata.
Oh, good to have you, Felix. How is Lambata this morning?
Lambata is cool, man.
All right, and happy weekend to you.
My regards and greetings and happy weekend. I wish to all our team listeners and callers.
Right.
And the management of Eagle FM.
Thank you.
Someone is talking about security. Don't feel that we cannot handle security issues alone. And besides that, we have said this severally that the welfare of the security personnel are not really encouraging, and government should look into that, motivate the security personnel so that they will do more. They keep on saying sacrifice, and yet we pay them peanuts. So security personnel should be properly taken care of.
All right.
Talking about Yahoo Boys, it's unfortunate that the entire country is operating as if everybody is into that trade, and even in the churches are not there, mosques are not there. And I remember some time ago when people opposed Yahoo Boys, and now even so-called ministers of the gospel came out openly and said, no, we don't talk about them, there is no job, blah blah blah. And let me tell you, if you get these boys arrested and you interview them or you investigate them, you discover that they will complain about lack of job, unemployment. I drove them into that. But criminality is not a solution to unemployment.
That's right.
And talking about the government should be an example. Where you are building three buildings for 10 billion naira and you're estimating things in terms of contract and all that. The way we live, we are not honest. We should try to be honest and integrity in our dealings. Thank you and God bless you, my dear.
Thank you very much, Felix, and God bless you too. Thank you. Resorting to crimes, by way of stealing or fraudulent activities, right? It's not really the antidote to the unemployment, the issue of unemployment in our dear country, Nigeria. One would say, quite frankly, right? We just go pay this bill, and we'll be back in a bit to take more calls. Do join us again. Do bear in mind that this is the pages on Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
I'm Tammy Annie Williams, a master's student. Thanks to the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship, I earned my master's. My future is limitless.
My name is Mustafa Akolu, a welder. The EU-sponsored rural electrification has powered my tools and my dreams. Now, our whole community strive.
I am Hafsat Denge, founder of the Easy Comply solution. With EU funding, I help women simplify corporate compliance, empowering them to grow their businesses.
I am Juliet Sebo, an extension agent in Benue State. Through the EU INAP program, I have trained over 180 farmers, transforming our community agriculture.
I am Dr. Olajide Joseph, an EU project coordinator in Nigeria, making healthcare more accessible through public health support and local vaccine production.
My name is Damilola Obidaro. Partnering with the EU, I've helped small business owners build capacity in digital technology.
The European Union's global gateway. Invest in
digital economy,
education, agriculture,
renewable energy,
and health.
And the EU is here to make it happen.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
And we are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Yes, this is The Pages on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. Your radio experience you can count on. And just to refresh our minds that we are streaming on YouTube and Facebook at the moment. So you can join us on YouTube and Facebook at Eagles FM Abuja. Do well to drop a comment. Also share the videos. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give us a follow, a like on Facebook. And the truth is, we really would appreciate that sense of commitment from you. Thank you all so much for your usual cooperation. Now the numbers to call are still 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 090-9705-4450. Hello, good morning. Okay, please do want to call back, and of course we'll be glad to hear from you what your 2 cents are concerning the headlines making the rounds across the dailies this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Amase.
Good morning, Abdul.
My name is Abdul Fali for Suleja, Niger State.
Good to have you. Please go ahead.
Amase, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Amase, I want to talk about the security in the country.
Right.
There's no day we hear on radio that we will not have that they kill a military man, soldier or police or all of them like that. You see, and particularly these police people that you are seeing. I said it last time. You see, when they kill a policeman, you see the family struggling for his benefit. 10 years, 15 years without getting his benefit. You see, these people are supposed to be, take care of them. Government is supposed to take care of them very well. Many of them, they don't have place to sleep. No barrack, nothing. They live between us here. They go to, their children go to public schools. You see, the government is supposed to do something about this security welfare very well.
All right.
Say,
yes.
God bless Nigeria and God bless Eagle FM. That is the only thing I have to say today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Woodwork is fine. He'll be here later today.
Okay, my greetings to him. Bye.
Thank you very much, Abdul. Hello, good afternoon to you. Good morning to you. I beg your pardon.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Ken.
Ken from where?
I'm calling from Day.
All right. How is Day this morning?
Very peaceful.
All right. Please go ahead. Let's hear from you.
What I want to talk about this of a man that always calls me every month. I appreciate his commitment to calling me every morning. But the truth is, we can't continue this way because it's becoming an embarrassment, not only to himself, but it's also embarrassing the living future. And I want to appreciate you guys for your tolerance. You have been tolerating me all this while. Okay, I think the best thing to do, you have to use the word you're saying. You're not a child, you're an adult from that street. So please, stop what you're doing. Go and do what they ask you to do. Send the apology and you're good to go. They're talking about insecurity in this country. Please, always.
Yes.
Our leaders knows what they're doing. Some time ago in this country, we were told that American citizens were somehow captured by the Boko Haram. And the mercenaries came all the way from that side and, got them rescued. Why can't you call this personally so that they can come in and make this menace and so on in the board? I mean, every day you wake up, you hear hundreds are being killed, and our leaders don't know the issues. Gallivanting from one continent to the other. It's unfair. Our leaders are wicked. Please permit me to use this word. They know what to do. They should bring in this personality and this push to the clear once and for all. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Ken. Thank you. You just spoke with, so much passion. I mean, with regards to insecurity bedeviling Nigeria, it's really a very disturbing trend. But with the calls from Nigerians that it appears we are overwhelmed, on the fight against insecurity, and it's perhaps about time for you to involve some sort of, external, forces. Let's see if the federal government would actually rescind its decision. But for the federal government, I mean, as we speak, it has actually reiterated its opposition to the use of foreign, mercenaries and tackling its security challenges, saying it would not provide adequate panacea to the problems. Of course, the federal government, may have its reasons for even reiterating its, stance on this one. But again, let's see if the federal government would bow to pressure, especially looking at the viewpoints that have been expressed over time, by Nigerians. All right, let's take this one. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Olushola from Fishan FM to Igbo FM.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shola.
Thank you.
Right.
If you are not very careful, we just continue lamenting in Nigeria. Criminality is there in the world, and it will continue to the end of the world. But to tackle it, we have to find a way of tackling it. That's why when I call for restructuring. You cannot be in the center and control what is happening locally. Out of some local governments in some states, you can only see 1, 2, 3, 4 that are well developed, well organized. Why the remaining one just buy land from Yangwa and build? I have a community where I come from, 16 communities, no single police station. Lukrand.
Where is that?
Let me keep it to myself, sir.
All right.
To myself. So let Lukrand, even in this Abuja, where do you think, if any insecurity happens, they are going to respond quick as fast as possible? Not to talk about all this where they have a lot of bush. I've traveled a lot, I've already known how people are living in some rural area, no infrastructures. So these people, that's what the target. They go there, they hit. But if you don't restructure, having the local security apparatus, having infrastructure in the state, that's how we continue lamenting. Unfortunately, if somebody is comparing Yahoo to minister, it's not done. It's supposed to not to be. That's why even demand apology. They have their own kind of references, but comparing Yahoo with this thing is not done.
All right.
Issue of minimum wage, my sister, 70,000. Okay, let us ask ourselves, out of the private sector, how many are paying 70,000 as a minimum wage? The most level officer in the government now is not collecting that 70,000. That is the basic. But we are saying that it's not enough, and those who are collecting it, I know, is something. Some of the cleaners that belong to private in their offices, they are collecting 30,000 in a month. How many private sector? How many? We should check ourselves. Can we pay our worker that 70,000 as a minimum wage? The least person in the ministry now is collecting nothing less than 100. But when we think that how can they do that, can they do this, but we are just mocking ourselves. The minimum wage demanded by the worker is not only on the government worker. How many private sector are meeting up the demand? God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shola, for that, point. A very, very, critical point you just raised right there. I mean, over time, when labor dialogues, with the federal government, it appears the focus is so much on the public, sector or workspace. But we usually have representatives from the private sector, right? But it appears that the resolutions or agreements, they really do not impact the private sector so much, because really they're having concerns from people in the private sector that, look, 70,000 naira minimum wage or not, how has that, impacted our lives? in the private sector. Shola, thank you once again for that contribution. I'll now head on to the WhatsApp portal to take the contributions that we have on there. Samson from Federal Housing Authority, Lugbe, says, good morning, our presenter. Insecurity in our country, obviously, as far as corruptors and continuous corruption is never holistically handled, the solution will always remain a mirage, chasing the shadows by hiding the culprit and so fearful in exposing them, either due to religion or tribalistic sentiment. God will always protect and preserve the sincere and honest ones. Samson, thank you so much for that message. And then this one here, did you state your name at all? Okay. All right, this is Samuel. Samuel from Kuje says, good morning, Omoife. Congratulations and welcome to another day. The group that is asking for the reopening of the land borders. My own questions are, when did they close the land borders? If the land borders were closed, who opened the borders for the tourists who are entering into the country through these borders? All right, Samuel, thank you so much for those questions. And then Terry Kimbi Hundu says, good morning, Efe. I'm in Nasarawa State. I'm worried that despite rising budget for security every year from oil money amounting to billions of naira, insecurity still persisted. Our people killed daily, displaced in our own country. I sympathize with the families of slain police officers by Boko Haram. Same Boko Haram Buhari government labeled repented killers. Now these people only deserve to die and not, to be pardoned or even treated like kings after killing our people. Terkin Bihundu, thank you for that message. And then this one here says, Chinonso from Suleja says, why is the finance minister requesting for a closed door meeting with the lawmakers? If you understand what is going to transpire in that closed door meeting, let me see your hands up. Only God can save this country. Chinonso, what do you think is most likely going to transpire? But of course, our fingers are crossed to see how things would actually unfold, right? And then this one here, this is Prince James Akpabio. He says, good morning, Omoife, right? And a beautiful morning to all our beautiful listeners. Thank you so much. He says, I'm listening from Garikitu. The northern state leaders condemning in entirety the policies of this present administration. How? The same people who kept mute to all the anti-people policies in Buhari administration and even praised him for the high heavens or to the high heavens and ensured against all wise counsels that APC as a party is retained. What they were timid to tell their kinsmen is what they are making bold to tell President Tinubu. The anti-people policies need to be isolated and constructively criticized. In my opinion, it can't be all the policies. Secondly, I have said it before, states at the periphery must ensure their own security. These are states that share borders with states at the epicenter where the fight against insecurity is at its height. The fleeing bandits infiltrate the unsuspecting, state at the periphery and unleash their anger just to create an atmosphere of fear and chaos. Night journey needs to be banned. Anyone coming into these states must submit themselves for profiling. NIN, numbers and biometrics must be collected, and numbers of blood relations with permanent residents too. These are some of the security mechanisms these, a periphery state must try to put in place, but they won't because they are enjoying money collected in the name of security vote. At the end, everyone blames the federal government. What should this is really quite lengthy. What should have been adequately handled by the state government? Enough of these blame games. Let every tier of government play their role in ensuring lives and properties are securely protected. God bless my country and God bless us all. Prince James Akpabio, thank you for that message. And then Comrade Ulobasi from Buhari, Abuja says, good morning, Omoife, happy weekend. Thank you. He says, I'm getting worried whether our co-patriots like Elder Onoja and others are getting tired of advising the government of what to do with the burdensome insecurity in the land. At the moment, it's sure that Boko Haram and other terrorists have returned full swing to make life unbearable and add to the sufferings of innocent citizens of this country. If the solution to these killings and wanton destruction of lives and properties lie in inviting foreign mercenaries to confront these terrorists, let it be carried out without further delay because time is running out on Nigeria. May God Almighty save us from ourselves. Amen. Comrade Ulobasi, thank you so much for that message. Mr. Linus from Brick City, Kubwa says, please completely ban that caller Okwi or whatever his name. He has been banned from other radio stations severally due to his inflammatory choice of words and hateful remarks that, are not radio friendly. Just as you guys tolerate him and giving him time to change, that's how other stations keep giving opportunities and grace period to change, yet he won't. Those close to him said he's suffering from post-Boko Haram attack trauma he faced when he was in Borno State. Mr. Linus, thank you so much for that observation. But again, they say wisdom is profitable to direct. I mean, for him to keep, trying to share his thoughts, well, one would actually assume that he is actually ready to turn a new leaf. But again, we'll see how that would actually unfold or pan out in the days to come. But first of all, he must tender an apology, and we must be convinced that he's indeed remorseful. All right. And then Salma from Kado says, good morning, Eagles FM. This insecurity in Nigeria is very serious. The federal government should do the needful. All right. And then, okay, we have this one here. Okay. I think that will just be about it for, the messages that we have on the WhatsApp portal. Let's quickly take a listen to the voice, note that we have on the WhatsApp portal this morning. We have this one. I guess this is from Daniel from Kurudu.
Good morning, Eagles FM. Good morning, Omefi. My name is Daniel from Kurudu. My regards to my namesake. You see, the issue of insecurity in this country, we can all testify to it. It is politically motivated. Whether north, south, east, wherever we are having issue of insecurity in this country, 95% of it is politically motivated. And I urge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do his best. The life of every Nigerian is in his hand. He swore to protect the life of every Nigerian. You should not take the issue of insecurity lightly. You should be very decisive and let him equip our armed forces, their welfare, so that they can protect us very well. Issue of border is very important. As we speak today, Nigerians are eating substandard food. Apart from the insecurity effect it's having on us, our border is very, very porous. We are eating substandard. Even our pharmacy, even the food we eat today, the provision we see today, in most of the stock today are substandard. And also urge NAFDAC to wake up from his responsibility. Thank you and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Omoefe.
Good morning.
Good morning to Triple J from Wari. My name is Salasi, sending this voice note from Berki. I want to start by the president asking military to take the word to the terrorists. Yes, they should take the word to the terrorists. There shouldn't be any repentant terrorists bringing them back to the society. They should go after them and they should make sure that they deal with them. Boko Haram killed 2 policemen again in Borno, while bandit killed some people in Katsina. You see the issue of this insecurity. The issue of the insecurity. Omoefe, why I'm so concerned about this insecurity that I have paid ransom for my family member to be released. I lost family member due to insecurity. When you hear me talking about that, it's not about politics. Anybody, each and anyone can be victim. So we are urging the government to do the needful when it comes to insecurity. As I always say, today victims are yesterday survivor, and tomorrow victims are today survivor. It could be anyone there. Bright, I greet you. And I want to say what Bala Mohammed is saying about the tax reform. I don't really understand how these people are bringing politics into it. Yes, everybody knows how the situation of the country, but you shouldn't politicize everything. These are the truth. So government must do the needful, and we shouldn't be politicizing everything. Bala Mohammed, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Salasi. And you have to, you just have to be our last contributor on the show this morning because time is not our friend. And we must leave it here very quickly because Vicky Vic is somewhere, gearing up to bring you up to speed with the latest happenings in the world of sport. Thank you sincerely for keeping us company on the pages. I'd like to state very clearly that the views expressed, were not influenced by Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja.